Hello, everyone. Welcome to Little Meatballs Nursery. I'm Sandra. Welcome if you're new here, and welcome back if you're returning, guys. By now, you may have seen that I just did a video earlier today. Well, not earlier. It really was, I don't know, 20 minutes. Well, it was only a 25-minute video, and then I uploaded it right away. It is a review for Babeside. As you all know, I've been waiting for my Babeside doll to come in the mail, and she did arrive about 3 days ago, but I just now today had the chance to actually do a review. So go check that out if you're interested in seeing that. I will be showing you the doll in just a few minutes here. So if you would rather watch that one first to watch me unbox her and everything that she came with, I suggest you turn this off and go look for that one first and then come back here and watch this one. If you'd rather just skip that one, that's fine too. It really was just to the point, as you could imagine. It was only a 25-minute video, so you can tell it was just to the point, okay? Because Sandra is never just to the point about anything, and I really struggled. I struggled to keep it, minimal and just talk about the review. Just talk about that. But I did say in there that I was coming back today with my regular video. So by now, I'm sure a lot of you already watched the first one. Anyway, so I didn't explain anything about why I haven't been on here. I kind of missed my hump day chat. So we are here for Friday chat. So I did do a video Monday and Tuesday. And then I had talked about on Tuesday's video how my feet were really bad, my ankles, my feet, everything was really swollen. Well, that night, I tried to elevate my feet again, and the issue I'm having is that I can't really stay in one position too long with my feet one way or the other, whether they're elevated up or down or on the floor, it doesn't matter. Sitting too long, standing too long, walking around, anything like that, if it's too long doing something, then my legs and my feet and everything just swell up like balloons. Now, usually the swelling will go down after a few days or so, but this, guys, this has remained for weeks. I mean, I'm going to say I would say around 2 months now that it has not gone away completely. So, what really scared me though about Tuesday evening was that, I went to elevate my feet, and then, so usually I will keep them up for a couple hours, then, take them down and whatever, because that seems to help the most out of everything. And so I was so tired Tuesday night from not sleeping well over the weekend that I was knocked out. I was knocked out all night, and I left my feet elevated all night. I know to some people that must sound so silly, like, oh, isn't that how everybody sleeps? Your legs are, no, not me. So, yeah, so I left them up for hours, and when I woke up, I could not stand up. I could not straighten my left leg because all of the swelling and the fluid pooled upward, behind my knee and to my to my lower thigh area. And so, but behind my leg. So it all pulled back there. And so there was no place left for it to go. And so it got hard as a rock. So all behind my left knee and my thigh was like, I mean, it was rock hard. Okay. So I couldn't straighten my leg. And I had to, Jason was helping me trying to move around, to try and walk, but I could not bend my knee. So, of course, it hurt like hell, and I was crying, and it was just a shit show that morning. So, and the whole time I know he means well, right? But husbands sometimes get in that mode where like they feel helpless, like they see you're in pain or you're hurting, something's not right. And but they feel helpless and they don't know what to do or what to say. So I know with Jason anyway, he'll start saying, "Well, you really need to call the doctor. I've been telling you to call. You need to go and do this, you need to go and do that." And like in that moment, when you are in so much pain and you're frustrated with yourself, you're frustrated with, and you have all these things going through your mind. And in that instant, that is the furthest thing, at least me, that is the furthest thing. Like, I do not want to hear that. Okay, I do not want to hear that coming from you right now. If you want to try and talk to me after the fact that the swelling is, I'm starting to feel a little better. I'm not like, just waking up with this leg I can't move and all this, in the moment, I think his timing is very off with things. And so I know he means well. I know what he's trying to get across, but again, it's just the whole. Anyway, so that in turn gets me upset because I'm already frustrated, okay, with myself. So then I get upset with him because I'm like, really? Now you're gonna do this to me? Now you're gonna tell me this? And so it was just not a great morning. So anyway, um, after the kids, they went to school and everything, and I'm trying to think, okay, I gotta call my doctor. Then of course, again, I'm debating with myself, do I go to the hospital? Do I, this and that, this and that. Now we don't drive. So, you have to take public transportation, which to the nearest regular bus stop is about a mile, give or take, walking. So, and there was no way I couldn't even, at that point, I couldn't even get down the steps. I couldn't bend my leg. So, I'm thinking, okay, what do I do? So I called, Jason called and was going to schedule a trip for urgent care to go Wednesday. Um, and so, um, I don't know exactly what happened. I probably said, no, I'll wait. That's just how I am. I probably said I'll wait, but I wasn't feeling great. And that's why I didn't come on Wednesday. I was like, there's no way I can't do a video today. So I think I was just riding it out that day to see if I got any other symptoms. I think that's what I was waiting for, see if I got a fever, if I had any other signs of it, like an infection or anything like that. But then, so Wednesday, okay, so it was just getting worse. The swelling, the pain wasn't going away. So, of course, I was speaking to Christina as usual, and Amanda and Tina, and my usual crew of girls that I talk to on a regular basis. And so they were saying, you really just go, just go get checked. And so so Wednesday this was around like right after the kids got home from school, I believe it was. And so I was like, that's it. I'm just, I'm going to go. I'm just going to go to the ER. So that's right. Jason had already, because with our bus, the mini buses, I'm trying to figure out exactly which day this happened, right? So with the mini buses, you have to schedule at least a day in advance, sometimes two. It depends on how full they get. So he had scheduled urgent care for yesterday morning. So this was on Wednesday. Okay. Wednesday morning. He scheduled it for us to go because you can't just call them up and say, hey, pick me up. It doesn't work that way. So he scheduled it for the next day. Okay. So the soonest we could get there by the minibus. So, which comes straight to the house. So we were going to go yesterday morning. Now, but when Wednesday late afternoon came around, and as I was talking to, my friends and stuff, they were like, just go, just go get it checked. You'll feel, better just knowing. So I said, fine. So Wednesday night, I'm calling for an Uber. Okay. And so I told Jack, I was like, Jack, be ready. He got all ready. He was going to come with me. And this was like right after school too. And he's like, okay, I'll go with you, you know. Um, so I call an Uber. Meanwhile, my husband, he's like, oh, well, I've done the Uber before, so I know what to do. So he's doing it from the app on his phone. I'm like, what happened to the days of just like actually speaking to people on the phone? Like, there is nobody that you could actually call. Like, you can't like call for an Uber. Okay. You have to do it online. And then, you pick if you want like a luxury vehicle, you want a regular vehicle, you want a van, you want this and that. However, if you pick like just for a regular car, they can just send you who's ever in the area. You don't know what kind of car is coming. Okay. I mean, you get to pick as far as the price ticket. Okay. I should say it like that. So you get to pick as far as the price ticket of the Uber that you want, but you don't actually get to pick the actual model and make of the car. Okay. So it's whoever is available. So he's like, I know what I'm doing, the whole thing. And I'm like, just let me see your phone. Just let me see your phone. And he's like, no, because in his mind, that's how he's helping me, right? He's getting the ride, okay? So he orders the Uber, and it said that they were sending a Ford 150. So now when you know what kind of car's on the way, Jason will look it up, right? So he looks it up and he says, oh my God, they're sending a pickup truck. I said, a pickup truck. I said, there is no fucking way that I can't even bend my leg, my knee. You think that I'm going to be able to step up into a fucking pickup truck? I said, there's no way. Cancel the ride. He's like, I don't know how to cancel it. You can't just call people. I'm like, give me the phone. I'm like, I'll call them. He's like, you don't understand. You cannot call Uber. And I'm like, what kind of service is this? I can't call to cancel a ride. It's just, what happened to, the old days when you're in. Now I sound like Jack, the olden days. Olden days. When you just call the cab and you're like, yeah, can you send a cab here? And then if you don't want, you cancel the. No, it's not like that with Uber or Lyft or any of those places. I'm like, I don't even think they take cash. I think you have to pay online. Like before it even gets here, you got to pay. Same with, did you know that, not to get off track, but same with like Pizza Hut. Hey, Suzanne. Same with like Pizza Hut or anything that you order online as far as like food nowadays. You can't pay cash anymore. At least not here. I don't know if you can where you guys are, but you cannot pay cash. They will not. There is no option. When you order delivery, your Barbies, oh, you got some Barbies, Suzanne? I'm going to take a look as soon as I'm done with the video. So you can't pay cash when they bring your food to your door anymore, because now they have the option for just leave it and go. So you don't even have to answer your door anymore. They've made it so that you don't have to have contact with anyone ever again if you don't want to. You don't even have to open the door when your food arrives. First of all, who is going to, I can't do that. Like, I could see during COVID, maybe, okay, like that whole epidemic thing, epidemic, is that what it is? A pandemic? I don't know, one of those things. They're probably the same. I don't know. Christine's probably laughing at me right now. I don't know. Anyway, so I could see then, okay, you don't want to answer your door. You don't want to get sneezed on, whatever. Listen, but after that shit was over with, they should have just put it back to regular deliveries. Like, why do I want you to leave my food? Not only that, they leave it on the ground. Now, why would I want you to leave my food? Okay, I understand it's in containers, but why would I want you to leave my pizza box in front of my door? Okay, I live in a building, okay, where people go up and down, back and forth, animals, I don't know what's out there. And you're going to leave my food out there. Nah, no, I'm not fucking doing that. Even when Walmart delivers my groceries, I always pick the option of I will be present. So they don't just leave the stuff. So that they need to knock and get a code from me before they can leave. Because you're not going to be leaving my stuff out there. Not only is it for that reason, but also they were delivering to the wrong apartment last year a lot. They were just leaving it and going. And see, I don't like that shit. So many times, so many hours wasted on the phone with Walmart customer service, Amazon customer service, because they leave things at other people's door. Even FedEx has done that to me. Anyway, that's like one of the major downsides about living in an apartment building. That's just one of them. But anyway, so you don't even have to come in contact with anyone anymore, okay? For food, for nothing, okay? So, back to the Uber. So, they were sending the car. He couldn't figure it out. Then he figured out where the button was to cancel the ride. So he canceled it, okay? Thank God they did not take money out of PayPal, okay? So then gets better. So then I said, look, there has to be a way to order a specific car, because what about disabled people like myself? Okay? I mean, you can't just have, you can't just, if somebody needs a ride somewhere and they don't drive, what are they supposed to do? Somebody's supposed to go wheel them in a wheelchair down the road? I mean, what are you going to do? So I said, give me the phone, Jason. Just give me the phone, please. And he's like, no, I know what I'm doing. You know how guys can get, all right? And if you're watching this, Kevin, no offense to your friend, all right? Our boys, me and Christina, our husbands have since recently become friends, and so they have been texting often, and you know, it's so cute to see them together, I say. But you know, I could always tell when Jason's texting Kevin, because I'll look over and he's like, and I'm like, yeah, what do you want to make for dinner? He's like, what? I'm like, dude, what are you talking to Kevin again? I'm just kidding. I'm happy that you guys are able to talk to one another. Anyway, so I'm trying to, you know, cancel it. And he's like, you don't know what you're doing. Give me back my phone. I said, let me just try. Let me just see the phone. So he gives me the phone. I'm looking. And the whole time he's like, you know, he's like right on top of me, you know, to make sure. I'm like, please back up, okay? You don't need to be breathing on me when I am trying to figure this out. Anyway, he orders me another car. This time, it wasn't the same. It wasn't that car. It was a different truck vehicle. Again, I'm like, what is with the trucks around here? Like, we're not going, you know, off-road here. We're going, you know, straight path to the hospital. Anyway, so I said, cancel it. I said, I'm not even going to do this. I said, just cancel it. Canceled it. I said, look, we're going to try one more time. And if it's the same kind of crap, then I'm just going to, you know, leave it alone and we'll just go to the urgent care tomorrow. Because obviously something doesn't want me to go. So we tried a third time. Would you believe I guess because my theory here is that we must have ordered them so close together, back to back, that this same one car from the first order, not the second one, because we canceled both of those. Then we did a third one, and they were sending the Ford 150 pickup truck again. So he must have not gotten another call within that 10-minute time frame, and he was in the area, so he was going to come. I was like, oh my God, this is just not meant to be. I guess I'm not supposed to go tonight. It was, by that time, it was already 4:30, I think it was, and way past my bedtime. And it was dark and it was freezing out. And I was like, forget it. I'm going to wind up slipping on some fucking ice outside. I'm not going to be, I just said, forget about it. I will just go in the morning. And then Jason's like, but yeah, but maybe you really should go. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, great. Now you're going to do that to me. Like, I already have enough like self-doubt with this sort of thing, like the what ifs, that I'm like, well, what if, maybe I'm just not supposed to go out tonight. So I said, you know what? Let me try and call a cab. A straight up, old fashioned, good old cab, Now, I called a couple of cab companies and they're both, okay, so the first two are telling me, well, ma'am, we have a minimum of $30 each way. This is only to go 2 miles up the road, okay? Because they are located downtown. So in order to send someone from downtown all the way out to the valley, they require a minimum ride. And they're like, well, it doesn't matter. I said, to go from my address to the Valley Hospital, you're going to charge me $30. And he says, yes, ma'am, because there is a minimum. He says, I don't care where you go. He says, if we have to come all the way out there, you can make a few stops before you actually get to the hospital if you want. Like, if you want to stop at the deli and get a soda, you want to stop at the whatever casino and, gamble a little bit, because we have a casino right down the road. We could walk down here. Oh, yeah, we do. Christina, if you like to gamble. We do. We have it right in front of 7-Eleven. It is. So, he says you could make a few stops, whatever, and we're still going to just charge you the minimum $30. I said, well, I don't need to make any stops. I'm going to the emergency room. And he says, I understand that, ma'am, but this, I'm like, okay, thank you. Do you know any other cab services in the area that would take me? And he gave me the name of 2 other ones. He said one of them is called Valley Cab, go figure. And I called them and they're like, oh, well, right now I don't have any drivers in the valley. They're all north side. So it would take them like 30 minutes to get there. And so I explained to her the situation with the Uber and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. We only have a van available. I'm like, what the fuck? What are people to do? Like, what are you supposed to do? So, after that, okay, and then I called 2 more, and it was, I don't know, one of them wasn't even in service anymore, and it was just super frustrating. And then the other one, that's right, there was a $20 minimum, which even if I were to pay the $20 each way, she's saying that she couldn't get a car to me for about an hour, and it was an hour out. And by that time, it really would have been past my bedtime. And I said, by then, no, I have a hair in my eye. Hold on, guys. By then, if I have to pause you guys because I have a hair in my eyeball. Anyway, by that time, I might as well have just waited like for yesterday morning. And that's what I did, because he had already scheduled the bus to pick us up here at 9:30 in the morning. So I just said a prayer. Yes, I did. That I would be okay through the night. I stayed up most of the night. I think I might have dozed off for a half hour or so. And Jason actually stayed up with me out here sitting on the couch the whole night. So, and of course, he obviously dozed off too at some point of the night, but at least he was right here if I needed his help. It was an easy, Anyway, all went okay. And then yesterday morning, bus picked us up. I was so nervous on that bus. I'm sure you guys can just picture it now, because Sandra and you know how I get when I go anywhere outside this house. So I got very nervous. I mean, I took my, my anxiety medication before I even left because I knew that bus was going to be very disturbing for me. Um, the bus, it's like one of those mini school buses type things, but it's like the bus itself, the walls surrounding you feel like they're like paper thin, and like the windows rattling and everything as they're going over the little bumps, and then it was hard because, you know, on the bus route, we passed by Danny's school. And so, of course, then I start crying. I know I was just a whole mess. I start crying because then I start thinking of, oh my God, I'm on the bus. What if he needs me? What if all the what ifs again going cuckoo crazy through Sandra's brain. So, um, Jason was trying to talk to me, but a lot of times, like I said, I'm in my own zone and it's very hard to get out of until like we make, I would say landfall. But I mean, we're on the land, but you know what I mean? Like until we have stopped moving. So, and it looked very like, I don't know if it was, but it looked icy out yesterday morning. It was foggy. It was like just like Halloween weather almost. And I was like, "Ugh," like why now? Why today? But I kept focusing on this was best for me to go and get looked at. I needed to go. I needed to find out what was going on. So we got to urgent care, and they took me pretty quickly. There was really nobody there. There was one guy actually in the waiting room, an older man. And so they what's really cool in urgent care, which I love, and I think they should do this at every business, to be honest with you, is they had a coffee bar. And so they had the automatic thing, like they had the drawers full of all kinds of different flavored coffees and all little things like, but they weren't like mini cup coffee things. They were like in a pouch. And I never seen anything like that before. And so I didn't even know how to make it. I had asked the the lady that worked there. I'm like, how do you make this? Like, I don't know. I have a Mr. Coffee at home. I have no idea how you do this. So she says, well, pick the flavor of coffee, and then I picked it and she opened it up and you don't gotta like do nothing. You just press a button. You put the cup underneath, you put the pouch in and you press the button and you're done. The coffee, I burnt my lip because it comes out. I'm used to having my Mr. Coffee, like I said over here, and it's like, it's lukewarm after it brews, So I'm like, damn, like that really burnt my lip. I'm like, ah. They don't have any real creamer there, but they do have lots of like the mini coffee mate creamers, and which I had to use like 6 or 7 of them in a cup of coffee because I mean, come on. They're like those little mini cup things. Anyway, so I used that, a couple Splendas, and they had the little stick stir things. They even had little drawers with little mini bags of Chex Mix and graham crackers, and they had a cooler underneath with mini bottles of apple juice and waters and orange juice, cranberry juice, all kinds of stuff under there. And it's for the people that come in. And I'm like, wow, that's really nice. I think I was gonna say the ER should do that too, but then I think they'd have a lot more, people coming in there just to, get the snacks. um, but that's really nice to it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Hospitable? Is that how you say it? I think that's more of a southern word, right? New York, they don't have that. I'm just kidding. We call it something else. We call it something else though. It's called sit down, let's eat, sit down, you're gonna have some spaghetti. With the meatball and a nice salad. But it was very nice. It was very nice touch to their waiting room. Anyway, so there was a guy in there, an older man, and so I started asking the guy, and then I asked Jason, I'm like, can you please get over here and help me, out? I have no idea what I'm doing over here. And the guy says, he says, now you sound like you're from the East Coast. And I was like, no. I was like, Really? I said, I would. I said, how do you know that? I said, yeah, New York. He says, how do I know? He says, you have an accent. I said, I do. Because I don't know. Like, you don't hear yourself like having an accent. So he's like, yeah, I knew right away. He's like, I was thinking Jersey. Now I've gotten that a lot. Like whenever I go out somewhere and somebody like the bus driver or who's ever around, and they'll be like, "You're from Jersey, aren't you?" I'm like, Jersey? I have a Jersey accent? I don't know, but they always figure out East Coast. But then more times than not, I have to say New York because they will guess Jersey. Go figure. Um, so he knew right away. So he's like, but he to be fair, he says that he is originally from Pennsylvania. And so I told him where my sister is in Jim Thorpe. And he says, "Oh yeah, that's like I forgot what he said. An hour north or south of something. I don't know, whatever he was talking about." Um so he's originally from there. He says, but he's been here like I think he moved, he said, straight from Pennsylvania to Alaska first before he came here to live. So but I think he said that he like left there when he was like, I don't know, 20 something. Um but anyway, I guess, you could take the girl out of there, but you still know where she's from. All right? Anyway, so yeah, so that was funny. And oh, anyway, continuing I'm like, am I done? No, I'm not nearly done. Anyway, so they call me back, in urgent care, and they could visibly see why I'm there. I mean, I told them, but they could visibly see. As soon as the doctor came in, he's like, like taken back a little bit. And he's like, wow, the triage or whatever nurse, is it the triage nurse? I don't know. One of those nurses there. I don't know. Any of my nurse friends out there, you guys know. And I just found out yesterday. I mean, I'm sure you told me this several times before, Alicia, but Alicia said she was a nurse for many years, right? And then she took care of her grandma, and so but she said she became a nurse like or CNA like 17, I think you were saying, or 18. But that's hard work at that age. And I was telling her that my mom became a certified CNA just shortly after my grandma had a stroke and she was paralyzed. Her whole left side of her body, she couldn't move. Um, I think it was the left. It could have been the right. I don't know. But all I remember is that was just a horrible time as well because I was very close with my grandma growing up, and um when that happened and she had to go to the nursing home and stay there, and then I remember going in well, I don't want to get off topic. I don't want to get off subject here. Well, I'll get back to my urgent care. My grandmother, she had a stroke, and my grandmother had very high blood pressure. She used to want to do everything herself, even though, my grandfather, my uncle lived with her. She used to do all the cooking, the cleaning, all everything. Now, her house was never immaculate, that they didn't live that way, but my grandmother always made sure there was no dishes in the sink, and, the floors were swept, and the toilet was clean, and all that kind of stuff, okay? They did have animals. They always had at least one dog. So, there was a lot of dog hair and stuff like that, which it's probably another reason why I don't really want pets. But um anyway, so my grandmother actually was painting her bathroom. She was painting her bathroom, and I guess that morning she was complaining to my grandfather how she had a really bad headache. She had a really bad headache. And but again, I feel like a lot of times husbands kind of chalk it up to like other issues that you have because and look, a lot of times anxiety, the symptoms that it presents can be confused with other things and vice versa. So if I have something that's maybe seriously wrong, Jason would his thing is, oh, whenever I get like that, a lot of times he'll be like, oh, take one of your pills. Take one of your pills. I'm like, well, no. And I got to the point where I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want to take another one. I don't want to take that, because what if what I'm feeling isn't anxiety right now? What if it's something else? And that's kind of, I'll tell you more about that once we get to the doctor speaking to us at urgent care. But, and I feel like a lot of times too, that because I say that because my grandmother was a heavy drinker and smoker. So she used to smoke at least a pack of cigarettes a day. And they would drink at least a half a gallon of wine apiece, her and my grandfather, a night. So, yeah. So, and plus she had very high blood pressure. So she was on blood pressure medication, but, I'm sure the drinking and smoking didn't help. So, she had a big headache. And my point being that her telling my grandfather that, he just said, oh, well, because you were drinking again last night, Katrin. He called her Katrin. Her name is Catherine, but that's what he called her, Katrin. Okay. They also said, they didn't call it the bathroom. They called it the bathroom. So whenever you got to go to the bathroom, Katrin. I don't know what it was. I think it's part Italian thing, but it's also part my grandfather thing. That's just how he talked. Anyway, so she decided to, paint the bathroom, even though even though, now I'm going to start thinking of all the funny ways my family used to say things, like, now I'm thinking of my brother with the salad. Oh my God, just silly things they used to say, and then it makes me cry. I'm not going to cry though in this video. Anyway, so instead of him telling my grandmother, Katrin, why don't you go lay down for a little bit, till your headache goes away. She was very thick-headed as well. Okay. And, so she basically did what she wanted to do anyway. And she actually got her step ladder out, her step stool ladder, whatever it was. And it was a tiny bathroom. Okay. That it was hard to maneuver in there as it was without a step ladder. And she had the paint, minimal ventilation, with a headache, high blood pressure, drinking the night before. So it was just a mix of things that just weren't in her favor. But my grandmother was not, high school. Oh, the high school just texted me. I'm not going to say hello to the high school, but hey. Anyway, so my grandmother, yeah, so she decided to paint. And she basically she passed out, she fainted, and she fell off the ladder. And when they rushed her they called an ambulance. My grandfather called the ambulance. Now, I will say my grandfather wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed. Okay. No offense, I love my grandfather to death. He was an awesome grandpa. He used to take me for walks in the park all the time when I was a little girl. We used to go pick cherries off the tree in the park. We used to, he would push me on the swings. We used to have a lot of fun. My grandfather also used to love walking the highway, picking up trash along the highway in the Bronx. He loved going shopping for my grandmother. My grandmother would give him a list a mile long, and he would go and he would get everything that he was supposed to. Kind of like Jason does for me when I give him a list. And Jason just came back with stuff from my list. Huh? No, he just walked in. Anyway, so at least he knew to call 911 because, he may not have, found her at all at that point. I don't know. Until he had to use the bathroom. But called, they came. Her sister lived down the road at the time in the same town. So they rushed out there. And by the time I went to see my my grandmother, are you all right? Yeah. Just exhausted. Okay. By the time I went to see my grandmother, she was in a coma. She was on the bed. At that point, they did not know if she was going to wake up or not. They didn't know. They knew she had a stroke. But they didn't know what her status was at that time. They were kind of waiting to see what would happen. She was breathing on her own. They didn't have her. Well, was she breathing on her own? No. If you're in a coma, then you're on a ventilator, right?
Not necessarily.
Well, my grandmother, when we went to see her, you were with me. She was on a ventilator?
I'm leaning towards yes, but I'm
yeah. Well, when we went in there, I remember, you know, my mom was there. Was Uncle Danny there? I think my uncle was there. My Auntie Fran, Uncle Paul, and there was 2 other family members, I think, that were up there visiting Auntie Fran at the time. But anyway, so I remember going in the room and just seeing her laying there, and like I said, I was close to my grandmother, so I was very just in, like, just shock at first. We used to go up there too, me and Jason, on the weekends. We used to go up to visit my grandparents, and, you know, they would invite us over for dinner, and we would stay there all day, you know, and have dinner and stuff, and watch old family movies, and just whatever, just talk, you know. Oh my God, I didn't realize it was that late already.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I just got home myself.
Hold on, everyone. I didn't realize that my kids were home. Hold on. Okay, guys, so the kids just came home, but I'm still going to continue my urgent care story. But I just wanted to show you this quick. So, last time I was on, I showed you what Jack had made for me in his pottery class. I think it's pottery. Clay or whatever. Anyway, Danny has been asking him to make him something. And I said, please, the next project you make for your brother. And he's like, okay, I got him. I'll make him something. I was not expecting him to make this. So Jack, remember, made me Steve Harvey. You guys remember the Steve Harvey face? And Steve Harvey has been up on my shelf, and he is adorable. But he just came home, and wow, what he made for Danny is going to flip out. So Danny loves Sonic the Hedgehog. And this is a character from there. What is this? A Metal Sonic, it's called. This is Metal Sonic, for anybody that knows anything about Sonic the Hedgehog. This thing is massive.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Okay, here we go, guys. Look at this. Oh my gosh, I'm afraid to even... Wait, I don't want to break it before Danny sees it. It's very fragile. You're going to have to... I don't know. I would reinforce this somehow. Look at this, guys. Oh my God. He made his own, like, Optimus Prime.
Yeah, right?
Wow. This looks like a Transformer. I'll tell you, my kids are so talented.
That boy's got talent.
This is crazy. Your brother's going to flip out. Wow. But the only thing is, you got to make sure.
It stands by itself.
Yeah, but you got to make sure he knows that he can't, like, play with this.
I know.
This is for decorative purposes only. But when I first seen it, I thought it was something else. Like that you would lean it this way for. Need a lighter. Be careful. Watch the legs.
Can I see it, son?
Yeah, Jason wants to see it.
You hold it. Wow.
Anyway.
Good job.
Anyway, so
You.
yeah, I know, that's incredible. That's great, Jack. Now, I think Steve Harvey needs a body.
Can't do that anymore.
Why? You can make him a separate body, and then I can
How do you?
attach Steve Harvey with, I don't know, a stick or something. I don't know, just slap him on the body. I don't know. Anyway, so back to my urgent care story. So far I only got to urgent care. I haven't got anything forward. What?
You need to take the meds.
Yeah, okay. I didn't get that far yet, please. Okay. Don't ruin my story. Don't ruin my story time.
Care about you.
Okay, go text Kevin. All right. So, got to urgent care. And so we're in the room, and you know, the guy came in, he's looking at me. Now my blood pressure was very high. They took it twice while I was there, and it didn't really come down at all. You know, they always say, which is true, it could be nerves, you know, and plus I was in pain. I was hurting from my legs and trying to get there, and all the, you know, emotions that I was having all the way up till getting there. So it could have been from that as well. But anyway, so they did a an EKG there, which in my opinion, it then stated on my Mar chart, my chart later on, it said pre EKG or something like that, or a I don't know, something to the effect of that. So they gave me the results of that. They said it looked fine and whatever. But because of the combination of the swelling, how long it stays swollen for, and then I told them I was getting, like heart palpitations yesterday and the day before. Again, we can say it was from anxiety if we want to, but he was trying to explain that you really don't want to take that chance. Like if it's not just your anxiety, and it could be a number of things because if, my leg was getting hard like that. And at that point, my leg got so bad that it was, what do they call it? Weeping. The fluid had nowhere else to go. So it was coming out my skin. Okay. That's how bad it was on my left leg. So, anyway, so he, he's seen that. He says I could see that, So that in combination with, just other things, he said I would just go because that fluid, how do we know how if it's gotten that far up your leg and it gets hard like that and there's nowhere else for it to go. We want to make sure that it didn't go, up your abdomen and up to your lungs because then if the fluid gets to your lungs, you're in trouble. So now, remember I told you Jason had made the bus trip there. So to be safe, I told him as well, make another trip to take us to the ER, like yesterday afternoon. Like this was the day before though. Just in case the urgent care tells me go to the ER. So we had that trip in place. However, it was only like at that point, I think we left urgent care at like 11:30 in the morning. And so, we still had a few hours, before the kids came home. So I was like, let's just go straight there. I didn't think, because we were so quick at urgent care. I was thinking, okay, it'll be just as quick as in the ER. So we went, and Jason never comes with me anyway, because a lot of times he can't. Jack would come with me because, can't leave the kids by themselves. So we went straight there. And so, they did blood work, I brought over my paperwork from urgent care. But that really doesn't really matter anyway. They want to do their own stuff when you get there. So they did the blood work and some things looked, I guess you want to say sus. It wasn't like a definite answer, but it was enough that they would want to do further testing to check for blood clots somewhere else. So so after the blood work, I had the IV and everything. They sent me for first they did another, well, they tried to do an EKG, but then they wound up doing that last because the lady that was doing it, some people are just rude, in the ER. Look, you'll get them everywhere you go in life, right? You'll get the rude people and then you get the really sweet people. And that goes for healthcare as well. Okay, some nurses are really, really sweet. Some other ones are bitches. Let's just be honest here. Okay, so this one, what?
Biatch.
Yeah, so this one, she was like putting forth minimal effort to get the things, on my chest and my arm. And then she kind of just gave up. She's like, oh, well, they'll do it for you, and she wasn't very nice neither. She was and then I asked her, because they had like the bed thing laying straight flat. And I'm telling her, I'm like, listen, because I said, I can't lay flat like that on my back again. I said, I already was like that earlier at urgent care. And I had, a lot of pain going up in my shoulders. I said, I just can't lean all the way back, and, so I was like, can you just slightly raise the back? And I was very nice about it. And she's like, oh, well, I wasn't gonna leave it like that. She said, I was going to put it up once you got up there. And I'm like, okay. I said, I didn't say you were going to leave it like that. I was very nice to her. Okay, guys, very nice. But she wasn't very nice to me. But anyway, so I said, okay, I guess they'll do it later on. So, and all in between all these testing, they kept sending me back to the lobby, to the ER waiting room. Then they would call me back for another test, send me back. I guess they didn't have enough rooms in there. So then they sent me for a ultrasound of my legs. So they did both legs, the entire things, at the entire things. That's what they looked like at that point, things. And so they did that, the back of my calf, my thighs, my ankles, my feet, everything. So while we were waiting for that to come back, they then sent me for um a chest CT scan with the contrast, so that they could see if there was any blood clots in my lungs. So they checked for that, and then we were waiting for those results. Then while we were waiting for that, the doctor wanted to do a repeat on the blood work to see if my heart, the test they did for my heart got any more elevated or anything since being there. So all that stuff basically came back that there was no immediate danger. So there was no blood clots anywhere. So that was a relief, right? But then I've told you guys this so many times that this is what like I get so discouraged about when I go and they tell me that they can't find anything or a cause of something, and I'm like, I felt like I wasted my time, I wasted my day, I wasted my energy, and we didn't get back till later on, but I will say this, while we were waiting, I want to say thank you and give a huge shout out to Christina and Kevin, because both of them were there throughout the whole day and night until we got home, even past that. Really just because Jason was there, waiting in the waiting room, and he was nervous and he didn't know what was happening, and so Kevin was really there for him to talk to and be able to, talk back and forth with, as was Christina whenever I got the chance, and it was hard. I really wanted to let everyone know, where I was at what point. But it was impossible, in between tests and everything to, you know, just keep texting everyone and be like, okay, this is where I'm at with this test and this is what I'm doing. And so I kind of figured, I knew I was going to do a video anyway to let everybody know how things went. And of course, people that are closer to me, I was going to talk to them when I got back home. So, but really throughout the day, that's what I mean. And so thank you guys, for being there for us. Um, and what was funny was while we were waiting, like towards the end, before we left the ER, when we were in, they finally brought me back to a room. Finally, like the last 15 minutes we were there, they brought me back into the room, and that's when the doctor was waiting for the repeat test, the blood work. And then he came in with my discharge papers and everything, and he's trying to explain to me, you know, um, what is going on. So basically, he wants me to make my appointment with my primary, which I did for next week. So I'm gonna be going there, and then it also prompted me to, I know it has nothing to do with the other, but to make an appointment for my mammogram because I'm so overdue with that. I haven't had one in 7 years, and it's so important with the history in my family of breast cancer that I go and have a mammogram. So I've only had three other ones in my life, and it's very uncomfortable, but has to be done, right? It could save your life, so it has to be done. So that as well. But so I have to go see a primary. Basically, what the doctor was saying is that you have really bad edema. I think is how you say it. It's really bad. They could see it on the ultrasound that it's like deep in my calf and everything. Where I think that's how he explained it. If I'm a little off, I'm sorry, like, because I know there's a lot of nurses that watch this as well, and like, I don't want you guys to be like, what is she talking about? Is that not? I am nowhere near a nurse. I have no idea. Like, and I try my best to listen. That's why it's best when I have somebody else with me to also hear what they're saying, because a lot of times it gets confusing. But something where it showed up on the CT scan that there was a lot of obvious, swelling, and then the pitted, they said something about pitted something. I don't know exactly what that means. But so basically he says I need a he gave me Lasix. Gave me Lasix. He said he's gonna start me on that. They gave me one before I left the ER. They were gonna give it to me in my IV, but they said, especially if you're taking an Uber home, no, because that'll work instantly, and then you'll be stuck peeing here all night. They said, so we're gonna give you the pill. It should take a little while for it to work. Then and he gave me a week's worth of the Lasix, so that I have time to get in to see my regular doctor and then discuss it with him, the course from here where I'm going to go. He says this may be something that you're just going to need for a short time. It may be something that you're going to find yourself that maybe you have to be on long term, but they don't know right now. He says he's not worried about, like, usually in heart patients and stuff like that, they would be a little concerned because I guess the medication can lower your potassium. And so then he gave me a potassium pill as well, because if it goes too low, it could cause problems. And then, but he said also if your potassium's too high, it could cause heart damage. So he said he wasn't that concerned because everything looked good as far as, what they could see with my heart, my kidneys, liver function, all that. So he's saying that, and because they started me out, because I'd never been on this type of medication before, so they started me out at a very low dose at 20 milligrams. He says that might have to be adjusted as well. So for now, that's what I'm taking now. I will say that, I mean, a lot of people, even the nurse there was like, she asked me, have you ever been on this before? I said, no. She says, well, you know that saying when they say, oh, you got to piss like a racehorse? Well, that's the meaning. And so I was, I wasn't sure what to expect, but honestly, and I even asked the doctor, I'm like, should I be drinking more water, like, with this? And he's like, no. You don't need to do that. He says, just go about your regular. And I asked him if I could still drink coffee. And because Jason's like, oh, you can't be drinking coffee. And he's like, that's fine. Drink coffee. And then there was something, the salt intake, which of course Jason has to bring up, he's like, oh, and doctor, he had to throw that in at the end. He's like, and doctor, should she stay away from salty foods? And he's like, well, you might want to consider, that. And I looked at Jason and I said, well, I don't like salty foods. I said, I just like to put salt on all my food. So, had to throw a little bit of a dig in there because I knew he was bringing that up to, oh, she should stay away from salt, which I should, but, so I am gonna, limit that. I'm gonna try not to add, because I usually add sea salt on everything, even my ice cream. Okay, I'm guilty of that. I love salt. I love butter. I love cream. I love anything like that. Okay, yeah, any of that stuff. Yes. But anyway, so what I was saying was that while we were in that last room, Kevin had sent Jason an email, and in it he sent us his what do you call it, Christina, before you edit it, Kevin is writing a book, and so he sent us what would you call it, a hard copy, what do you call it? I don't know anything about books. All right, all I can tell you is, yeah, everybody knows that I'm not a reader. I don't like to read anything unless it has pictures. I don't like to read. The most I'll read is like the Amazon Christmas book, stuff like that. I don't like to read. So he sent it to Jason, and I said, let me see it. So out loud, I just started reading it. Okay. And Jason starts cracking up. He starts giggling, not at the story itself, because I think the story is really cool so far. And I only got like the first, few paragraphs, but it sounds really cool. And I feel like it's something that I could read. And this just might be the very first book that I will be reading. Okay, from front to back, because it does sound really cool, Kevin. So I'm surprised. I really am. You know, when Jason was like, oh, Jason told me, it's like, Kevin's writing a book. And I'm like, really? I mean, look, I don't really know you, Kevin, but I mean, I mean, it does make sense being that your wife is like a bookaholic, you know, she loves books, she's always reading, you know, and all her free time, that's what she's doing, playing dolls and reading. So, you know, the book, you know, it kind of does make sense a little bit, you know, with the topic. But um I just about died when I read the part about the gem doll. I was like, what? It's like, no, he didn't. He did not. I said, I'm hooked. That's it. Now I'm hooked. Okay. He puts the gem doll in the, I'm hooked. So, it definitely made me smile and get my mind, you know, off of what was going on in the moment. And so thank you. It was good timing, very good timing. And of course I gave Jason a good laugh with my, I was, I was doing, you know, like I was really like being the narrator of this book. So you could just imagine how I must have sounded in the ER and, you know, and but the door was closed, but I'm sure people still heard and they're probably like, what is this wacky lady doing in the, you know, in the ER reading? What is she doing? But um at the end of the day, you know, I made it through. I'm here, you know, we got home. The kids all behaved like little angels. And you know, once I got home, of course, I had other, you know, people writing to me, and I so appreciate everybody that, you know, wrote to me and kind of knew how I was feeling in the days prior to this, and you know, were concerned and wanted to know, you know, what was going on, and you know, and then I was able to I was talking for quite a while with Amanda last night when I got home, and you know, she's another, you know, bright light in my life. She really just, you know, Amanda has a way about her that just calms me. It kind of calms my nerves. She makes me feel, you know, at ease and comfortable and like not um you know, not feeling like I have to prove myself in any way. Like I just feel, you know, content and okay, and just we just talk about everything, and it's, you know, it's really nice. And so speaking of Amanda, we actually me and Amanda are doing a Valentine's Day gift exchange. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And very funny. And me and Christina are doing a Valentine's Day collab, which we will be doing on February 8th, which is a Sunday. And so I hope you will join us for that. And Jason and Kevin are going to join us for that one at some part of it. And we are going to be doing a love tag. So it is going to be a Valentine's Day questionnaire of sorts.
I'm just gonna make
They are going to be asking the girls questions, and we are going to be asking the guys some questions. So this should be very interesting and fun, to say the least. So we hope that you will join us for that. And yes, so that will be fun. So
Yeah.
lots of exciting things coming up for Valentine's Day.
Super fun.
I also have, of course, don't forget my authentic. I almost said who it was. My authentic cuddle baby. She has been shipped out, and so she is. It's scheduled for delivery on Wednesday. However, usually when I get dolls from Anna, they come a day before what it says, so most likely Tuesday. And the mail keeps getting longer and longer. Is it just me? Like, when you pay for priority shipping, isn't it supposed to be like 2 to 3 days? Or have they since gone with that as well? Like, you know, sometimes it does get there, you know. I guess that has become more of an estimated delivery rather than guaranteed. Because I think when you pay for priority, it used to be guaranteed 3 days, wasn't it? Like, if you did not get it by day 3, you can actually go and say, I paid for priority, you know, where's my box? You can't do that anymore. I think it's just an estimated time delivery system. Everything has gotten cuckoo crazy, right? So, yeah, so new baby next week. So that'll be fun. That's something fun to look forward to as well. It'll be my first authentic baby of 2026. And it is from Anna. I have not gotten a baby from Anna in quite some time. So this should be very fun and exciting box opening as well. And of course, I will be sharing that with all of you. So let me show you, now that I have talked for over an hour, we are going to, that's all it's been. Wow. I really jam-packed a lot of information into this hour, guys. That was like a record talk for Sandra. You know why it seemed longer? Because I did the review video separate before this, so that's why it seems a little longer. So Stitch, come over and see my new baby, my new babby. Don't look. She doesn't have a diaper on yet, so don't be looking, Stitch.
What's foot?
Hi. I'll just cross my legs. What? Why are you looking at her like that? You know you like her. Oh, see, I knew Ethan was gonna like her. I just crossed my legs and wait. Now hold it like this. Oh, look. I can cross my leg and hold it. Look. Oh, yeah. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Don't say it, Ethan. Don't. Okay. How do I look, guys? Now, I did the review. And I gave her a bath and I patted her before I even did the review. Because I wanted to be able to hop right onto this video without stopping and giving her a bath and all that. So, I took her out of the box and, checked her out and stuff like that. The box, which I did not say on my review, the box was ripped and crushed on the top. So that's another reason why I didn't want to do that on my review for Babeside. So I kind of just showed you guys the bottom of the box, which is all that really matters anyway, because that's the cradle part. But I feel like they should ship their dolls in a box instead of a bag. Like it has its own doll box, but then they don't put it in a shipper. They just put it in a bag. And I feel like coming all the way from out of the country, they should probably protect it better, because honestly, I was telling Christina, if this had been a gift, like if I had ordered this and paid for it, I would have been upset, you know. But they had sent me this doll to review, so there's really not much I could say about it. And also, she pointed out that that wasn't their fault. It was shipping. You know, it was whoever handled it, which is true. But again, if they put it in a shipper box versus a bag, the chances of the box, the actual gift box ripping, are less than, you know, if they just put it in a bag. But overall, I have to get her a preemie diaper. I'm going to try one of the new diapers on her because, guys, they are having some nice diaper sales on Amazon right now. So if you are in need of baby diapers, go check out Hello Bello and Honest Brand diapers. A lot of their prints are on sale, and I hope they stay that way, a lot of them, because I want to grab some more. Because what I decided to do so far, it may change, but in that beautiful wooden box with the footprint on it and the flowers and everything that Janelle sent me in Happy Mail, I'm going to stock the bottom of that with my diapers, I believe, because it's so pretty and I don't want to like take away from what it is. Like, it, to me, it just looks like this really pretty wooden, you know, well, that's what it is, a wooden crate, right, with the hanger and everything, and, you know, to hang. So I will hang clothes up on the rack. I have to get some nice, I want to get some nice, like, it came with a few hangers, but I want to get some nice, really, like, wrapped, like the hangers that have, like, the, not, is it like a velour or a velvet, like, oh my God, who first came out with those? Remember huggable hangers? Oh my God, they sold them on QVC, and I remember seeing them, and I wanted to try them so bad. I still have not gotten my huggable hangers. Okay, they're really thin, so you're able to fit a lot in your closet. Remember those guys? And they had so many different color options. But the biggest thing about the huggable hangers, and why I will never ever forget the huggable hangers or the girl that created them, is because of her nails. I used to watch QVC and couldn't wait for huggable hangers to be on because I know that Joy was going to be on there with her really long nails, and she always had them done so beautifully. And I could not wait to watch this woman talk with her nails, showing the hangers with the nails and everything. I know, guys, I'm nuts, but I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. And because of her nails, I will never forget huggable hangers. Okay. So I want to get some more of those, and then I will hang up the clothes. Um, and then I was gonna put diapers, and I want to get different designs of the diapers so that I can show them. You know, when you put them all on the bottom of the basket, you can see all the different ones, and then you can just pick the one out that you want. You know, I want to get a couple different sizes. Um, and even like holiday ones, they have the Grinch ones on sale for $16 for a big box of them. I think you get like 172 diapers, something like that. That's crazy. Okay. They have a really pretty um bunny print that has little tutus on, like a ballerina bunny. That comes in a box with a flower print. Very beautiful diapers. Um, and now that I'll have a couple of girls, you know, I could stock up on the more girly prints. Whereas before, I tried to stay neutral with the diapers because I had more boys than girls. So now I could kind of get more of a variety of the diapers. Um, they had a couple of other prints that were really, really cute that I want to get. But for now, I was able to order one pack of the diapers because they finally gave me my Amazon credit for my lace socks, the lace toddler socks that didn't work. Um, so I finally got that credit, and this is what I bought. Um, so I got me some now, and you will never believe this. I can't show you the front of them because my address is strapped to the front of this. Yes, this is how Amazon ships their diapers now. They ship a lot of things this way, guys. They don't even bother putting it in a bag anymore. They just slap the label on the front. If it's one outfit, if it's one item, not one outfit, it could be an outfit. They just slap the label on. They don't even care what they're showing the world we have. So this was left outside yesterday when we were at the ER, and I tracked it and it showed the delivery photo. And I'm thinking to myself, why do they do that to people? Like, so now everybody that passes my doorstep, okay, until I could get that package, everybody that passes by is going to think I had a baby because they see I have size 1 diapers waiting out on my doorstep. You know, hello, like, is anything private anymore? So these are from Hello Bello. And I have ordered from them before, but we're going to open these together. So I got a pack of 32, size 1, which says 8 to 12 pounds. But because Leilani is a bigger baby now, and I think my new girl coming is around the same size. Around the same size. I don't know why I just sound like the Wicked Witch. Around the same size. So they could both wear the size 1. So that's why I'm also going to get the size 1, I believe, in the ballerina ones. If they still stay, $20 for a big box. To me, that's totally worth it. FedEx is pulling in. I don't know if we're waiting for anything, but, and so I plan on getting a couple more of the smaller packages as well in a size 1 because they have a boy print in a size 1, I believe. And oh my God, my most favorite is they have a big box of Dr. Seuss diapers with the Lorax all over them. And the Lorax is one of my most favorite movies. I love that movie. Of course, I also love Danny DeVito, any of the movies that he's ever been in. Okay, he's a fabulous actor. I love him. So, but the Lorax is so cute all over the diaper. So I have to get the Lorax. Have to get those, and those could work for girl or boy. But I think I'm gonna get them in the newborn size because they're like $7 cheaper in the newborn size. So of course I'm gonna get the newborn if it'll work. Why am I gonna pay $7 more? Anyway, of course, for a real baby, that wouldn't go. But, when you have babies of all different sizes, then you could, whatever. So, this is what I picked for now. And so I got 32 diapers for it was just about $10. $10. Which, I still think that's a good deal. Occasionally, you can find preemie diapers for like $6, $7 sometimes. Sometimes I found them for even $5. But when they're down to $5, that's when I grab the preemie ones because all the silicones fit in the preemie. Yeah, guys. So I don't know if I finished telling you my story, but so yeah. So for now, I'm on the Lasix with a potassium pill, and so Jason went and he picked that up today for me. So I will now. I know Alicia, you told me to try and take it the same time every day because then it will work better. Because honestly, when I came home, I don't think I got up a lot to pee. I think the couple times that I went before I fell asleep, I would say the amount maybe was a bit more, but nothing crazy. Like I was expecting it to be, which Jason like hyped it up. He's like, it's probably going to be like you're drinking beer just without the drunk feeling. Like it's like when you drink a beer and you have to go to the bathroom so bad and you're like, I can't hold it. I got to go. It wasn't like that at all. I don't know. But anyway, I can't get this other one in here, but I want to show you this adorable print. These are so cute. And you know what? I am going to try one of these on Lucy. Now, she came with the name Lucy. I don't know if I'm going to keep that name. I mean, I could keep it with the L's. Leilani, Lucy, and I almost said who it was, see? Caught myself there. No, I have to think of a name for the new baby because I'm not leaving her sculpt name. So if anybody wants to help me come up with a name for a gorgeous, dark-haired, sleeping cuddle baby, please let me know if you have any name suggestions because I do want to make a list this weekend, so that I can, pick a name for her. Who's getting Danny? Okay. Does he know? Is he watching? What? Okay. So I do want to have some names ready for her, just so I could go by, the names. Now this baby to me, Christina, for some reason, I feel that you named yours Amelia, your Lucy doll. Am I right? I know you named one of your babies Amelia, I think. I love that name, but I can't name any of my dolls Amelia because Ethan's friend, that's one of Ethan's friends, and I try not to name any of my dolls any kids that, that the kids are friends with in school or, or the opposite if there's somebody that they don't like or doesn't like them, whatever. But I like the name Amelia, and he's friends with Amelia. So can I name my doll Amelia? Ethan, can I name my doll Amelia? Oh, I can't. Well, I don't know. She could look. Now to me, this doll looks. Let me put her diaper on. Let me show you the diapers first. Look at how cute. Look at how cute. I can't take it. These are so cute. Look at these diapers. What are you doing? You don't take my last blue Italian ice. You could have the red one. It's in the baggie because Dad started eating it and he doesn't want it. What? He just took like the first spoon. It's not like he double dipped it. Anyway. Then don't eat it. I'll eat it. Why didn't you want your Italian ice, babe?
I just didn't want it at the time. I don't know, I just didn't want
But you didn't like, I mean, how, like, anyway. What?
No, the coffee is slow.
Yeah, nothing like at urgent care. I mean,
Well, that's right.
they had urgent care and they had urgent coffee. I mean, that was, what?
There's no blue Italians.
No, there's a red one. What do you mean there is no blue one? On the door there should be one.
No, there isn't.
I gave it to you last night.
No, there was a
There's a red one here.
Oh, is a red one?
Yeah.
What, a new one?
Yeah.
Okay, then maybe somebody traded it out.
There was one here. There was one blue one on the door last night or whatever when I gave it to you.
Excuse me, guys. Okay, guys, so I'm back. All right, just had to settle that Italian ice dilemma. All right. So, look at how cute these are. These are the cutest diapers ever. Look at these.
What are they, Million Moons?
No, these are, what did I say they were? Hello Bello.
Hello, Bella. Can I see?
They have little balloon animals.
Balloon animals.
Isn't that cute? So they're little balloon animals. The white background, and then it has a red one here, and an orange, purple, green. These are really, really cute. Now, I've never had this pattern before, and these diapers are really nice. A lot of the reviews were saying they were thin, but that doesn't matter for a doll. I mean, you know. But I like it that way, actually. See? There's a thin... It's not so bulky. And let's see if it fits on Lucy. We're not going to leave her name Lucy, though. I'm sure Jason will come up with a name for her. Or Danny will probably come up with a really cool name, because he always does. But we'll see. Did you put the water up for the mini penny yet?
No, not
The penne?
not even close.
Did you make the rolls yet?
I just got home. Did you hear the mixer run?
Oh, wait. Didn't you get me something?
Yeah, they didn't have the ones they usually get. They only
Excuse me. Okay, guys, we're back. So Jason is going to get Danny now. So we're going to dress Lucy, or that's what we're calling her for now. And Jason just informed me that they did not have the regular bakery cookies. Okay. So he found these. I don't know. I've never heard of I don't even know what this brand is. Classic cookie. I've never heard of this before. This has got to be a classic cookie. That's what it's called. Never heard of them. So, here it is. It's a classic cookie. All right. Seems to be about the same size. Now, he did good. At first, I was like, wait, I told you to get the bakery cookies. He says, I got you one in a package. I don't know what that is. I've never seen these before. We're going to try it together. All right, let's try it before Danny walks in. Let's just try it. Anyway, he got muffin mixes. What did you get, chocolate chip muffin? For the kids. Let's try this cookie. Okay, it's not salty. At least it's not salty. He could have got me chips or something like that. I don't even like chips, to be honest with you. All right, it looks good. It looks good so far. It looks good. Let's try it. Mmm. It'll do. It'll do, you know? It's a cookie. It's a cookie. It just tastes more like cookie dough. Gotta hide this. Because let me hide this. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. Okay, we're gonna put the diaper on now. So Jason is outside waiting for Danny. So, the cookie was good. I had half of it. I'll save half for after dinner. Jason's making some homemade rolls, which he hasn't made in a while. He made the breadsticks more recently, which those are so good. So good. And so he's going to make those, and I'm gonna tell him to make mine with no salt on the top because he brushes them with butter and then he puts like this. I don't even think it's sea salt. It's more of like a coarse kind of salt slivers almost. It's for baking. So I'm gonna tell him not to put any added salt on mine. And then he made his homemade sauce the other day. So we're going to, which Amanda, I haven't forgotten about you. I'm gonna send you the recipe for that. But so we're gonna make the mini penne, and we're gonna make with his homemade sauce that's been sitting in there for a couple of days because it only gets better over time. So it's gonna be so good. Oh my God, so good with the grated cheese and everything. Now I have to be careful too with that because the grated cheese is very salty too. So you got to be very careful with that as well. But dinner tonight is going to be so good. So good. And don't worry, I will send pictures, okay? um I will say that I am very I'm very proud of my husband's cooking because he definitely learned how to cook from his mom. And I feel like I learned how to cook from my mom, so we kind of both do things. Um, Even though it's both Italian cooking, it's a little bit different, it's a little bit of a different kind of way of doing things. Now, I will say that Jason is very, like, he measures everything, especially like baking, when he's baking. But he said for his sauce, Amanda, he doesn't know. He eyeballs things. So I might have to, like, when I write out the recipe, I might have to put, like, an eyeball of this, two eyeballs of that, a pinch of this, but we'll figure it out. But, so whereas I was brought up, like, cooking a lot of, like the different, vegetables and stuff from the garden. Like we used to do, the stuffed peppers. We used to do the stuffed artichokes and mushrooms, even though my mother didn't grow mushrooms, I don't think. But, we used to do, she used to do all that kind of stuff. We used to do, my grandmother used to make stuffed tomatoes in the oven. We used to just, anything we could stuff, we loved it. Eggplant. Now, we didn't stuff the eggplant, although I'm sure my grandmother has done that before. But we just, grew up making all those kind of, really fattening things. No. Really yummy, tasty, flavorful recipes. His mom did too, but I think she catered more to her kids and like because her husband was Polish, so Jason's dad is Polish, so they did Polish Ukraine. So his father's mother was from Ukraine, and his father's father, or maybe it was the other way around. One of them was from Poland, one was from Ukraine. So he loved a lot of the Polish food, the kibasi and the oh my God, he used to go and get the bagels every payday. I remember he would go get the fresh bagels and the kibasi and the cheese and the sauerkraut, the pickled eggs, I think it was, or pickled something else, but really good food too. I mean, I feel like there's so many different variations of the same cultures, the same, nationalities, the same, like you have certain things that, that's what you eat, but everybody has their own recipe for it. In other words, there's a basic thing, but then everybody kind of just switches it up a little bit. They put a little pinch of this, a little bit of that. And so everybody's recipes are different and unique in that sense. But and then I remember my Aunt Chicky, she married a man from Cuba. So they did a lot of the Cuban food. So it was really just in our family we had just a bunch of different I remember my Aunt Chicky, she used to make the best Spanish rice and beans with the little drumettes. Like they weren't the full drumsticks of like the chicken. She used the little drumette, little tiny chicken legs, and she used to do that with the rice and beans, and oh my God, was that so good. Like that's what I'm saying. Like everybody, like we just grew up around food, period. It was always a table full of just all kinds of different things, especially with the get-togethers. We used to have a buffet style. Everybody would go up. Everybody would bring a tray of something. My mother made the best chicken marsala. Oh my God. That was one of my favorites. And my mother, you're supposed to cook all the alcohol off of that. You wouldn't know it eating my mother's because you could taste it. Like, you're not supposed to taste the alcohol, Ma. You're not supposed to taste the marsala. You're supposed to cook that shit off. No, she liked to leave it. It was there, and then the trays of the sausage and peppers, which is one of my favorite dishes to make. I love making the sausage and peppers on the nice, fresh Italian bread with the seeds. Oh my God. I'm making myself way too hungry here, Sandra. Way too hungry. I love doing the eggplant parm. I love doing just a regular eggplant, and then we would just layer it without sauce, and then you would kind of just dip it in afterwards. I love making we make homemade stromboli. I don't know if you guys like stromboli, but me and Jason do it homemade. He makes the dough. We fill it with the pepperoni, the cheese is all different. We make it all different ways. You could even put veggies in there afterwards. Hey there.
So, what was it about vegetables?
Hey! Aw. Hi, Sussy. Sussy! You're home.
Yeah.
Mommy's almost done. I was just talking about all kinds of food. Because I started talking about your sauce because I forgot. I got to give it to Amanda. I said there's no measurements. You just got to do a pinch of this and eyeball of that.
I'll do my best.
No, I know, but then I started talking about the Polish food that your dad used to get, the kibasi and the bagels we used to get, and the sauerkraut. Oh, pierogies, I forgot. The pierogies. Oh my God, and the potato pancakes. Jason makes potato pancakes. Oh my God, those were so good. Hold on, honey, we're talking about food.
Mama loves sausage.
Oh, you made that for me?
Yeah.
Oh, wait till you see what Jack made for you.
Oh my God, you gotta see what Jack made.
Don't tell him. Go wash up first, and then he's going to show you. And Danny made this. Danny made this for me. Oh, Sussy love mommy. So I was explaining this on my last video too. Danny made me actually one of these out of his air dry clay. So we watch Gumball together. The Gumball, Amazing World of Gumball. And I've been recently very heavily into it. We watch it every night. And so there's a character on there that's an actual person, like a human's face upside down. So when you draw the eyes on the chin. So this is the chin. And there's his mouth, there's the chin. But they put eyes on him. And her name, she wears this blue gingham dress like Dorothy. And her name is Sussy. So now I've been calling Danny my little Sussy. So he wrote me up drawings as Mommy and Sussy. Thank you, Danny. Here, put that picture there. So, see, everybody makes different art things for everybody. How did Ethan do with his final? Did he hand that in or?
No, he's not doing it.
Oh, he's doing that now with his friend?
No.
Okay, so let's put the diaper on the bed. Anyway, yeah, so we were talking about all kinds of different food and, how, every culture has their own, types of food that they make, but everybody's recipes are, a little different, a little tweaked, because even though, we made everybody makes it a different way. Like, I remember your mom made the stuffed artichokes different than my mom made them.
Yeah, well, everybody has their own recipe.
Yeah. But yeah, I was telling them about the stromboli. We got to make some of those. We haven't made those in a while. And then Jason makes homemade bagels. I always get so upset though because, with the bagels and the same with the homemade hot pretzels he makes. Those are so good too. But for a family of 5, you got to make more than 6. Well, whatever it may be, 8, 6, 8, it's all the same. I mean, when you have 5 people in the house that all love them, they go like that.
It's a lot of work,
I know it's a lot of work, but that's, that's why you need help.
Well, help me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to help myself do an extra one. All right, so I'm trying to get this. I mean, I think it'll work for now, but it's not my first choice for her. But I am not about to go digging. That's the only problem. Now I got something in my eye. That's the only problem with having the baby seat up on the ottoman thing is that I don't want to keep taking that off to get in it. And in there is where I have my diapers currently. So I don't want to keep having to take that off to get another diaper. And I meant to take some out yesterday, I think it was. I don't know, it wasn't yesterday. It was whenever I was last changing the silicones. And so I don't want to... One second, honey. Why don't you go change first and wash up?
I am.
Oh, you washed up?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, one second. I don't want to keep going in and out of there. So that's another reason why I want to make this the diaper caddy. You know, the diaper basket. So then I could keep putting things, just the diapers directly in there, take one when I need it, and it's just out already, you know. Yeah, honey, just knock on his door. He said he was going to, you know, give it to you when you got home. Anyway. So, I hope everybody enjoyed today's video, and I hope everybody enjoyed my review of the Babe Side doll. If you haven't gotten a chance to watch that yet, I highly recommend you do. I think they really did a good job with this doll. And to be honest with you, I had plans on, which I will still bring before we go. I will bring on my my Volent 16-inch silicone because I do want to say the sizing is a little off. That's the only thing I would say. The sizing is a little small for what they say, like 16-inch. This, to me, it's more like a 14-inch doll. So keep that in mind, too, when you're ordering, because I don't want anybody to be disappointed with the size-wise. But other than that, you know, she came with the basic stuff that a silicone would come with. I think a little extra, though. I do think that. Like, you know, I feel like I especially liked the inspection thing. Like the quality control sticker that was stamped that says somebody looked it over, you know, before sending it out. I think that to a collector means a lot. But I don't want to give it all away. I want you to go check out my video from earlier. So, okay, the diaper will work. This is a size 1 diaper on her, keep in mind. But look at how cute with the little balloons. Oh, so it works for her. It's a little high up there, but it'll work for tonight. Christina, you know these are cute. I know you said you're not a diaper girl, but these are really cute. I will say that she's probably going to have to be powdered again, but we're just going to dress her for now. I would probably powder her again. Now, I would love to find her some pacifiers that would fit. Because it looks like she can take a modified passy. I know, I showed them already. Isn't that awesome? You like it? Be careful because the legs will fall right off. Wasn't that so nice of Jack to spend all that time making that for you?
Yeah, plus I heard he told me that he was going to make something for me and
I know, and I told him, I said, the next time you make something for your brother. Because I know you wanted some so bad. And now, look at, he makes you that giant thing. Look at it compared to Steve Harvey.
They could be friends.
They could be friends? All right. So you got your new toy. What do you think of my new toy? Hi.
That looks cool.
You like her? Now I need a name for her.
Ready,
What do you think, Jason?
Out loud.
Be careful, because Christina has the same one.
I don't know. I gotta think.
What?
I'll think about it.
What, a name?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was just asking you what you think of the doll.
Oh no, it's cute. I like it.
I think she's really cute. I think the painting on her is nice, too. And I like that she has eyebrows. That was something I did not bring up in the review that I should have. I didn't really think of it then. I just noticed now. And the painting, too, is nicer than, like, Volent's. Because Volent's does a lot of the orangey, like, cakey look, you know. This, I also noticed her lips, now that I look and I gave her a bath and powdered her lips are glossed. So that is sealed. Like, that is not coming off. So I'm happy that they did it a nice color, like it's not overdone. It really does have the newborn look to it. That's nice. So that means this doll is sealed, and they probably had to seal it because they painted the hair, right? And think about it. I already gave her a bath, so if you put water on it, if it wasn't sealed, it would come right off. Same with the eyebrows. So the doll's sealed. That's a plus too. I didn't think of that. But look at how nice the lips are on her. Look at that. They're nice and gloss. Look at that. The eyelashes too, like I was saying. You know, I did a terrible job on the one, oh my God, on that poor Alice that I ruined. She was such a cute baby too. The smile. But I think the eyelashes are nice too. And I'm not going to mess with them because even if I didn't like them, I wouldn't try peeling them off because then you would have this giant space in here. So I mean, they're really cute though. They're a nice length. I love the gloss on her lips. That's so cute. The eyebrows. It's nice to have a silicone with eyebrows. I think this is my first silicone with eyebrows. That's really nice. Or hair. Or painted hair like that. That's cute. Her nose is unique, I feel. Like I don't feel like I've seen any dolls with this type of face before, a silicone. I don't think that this is a replica face. I don't think so.
I'm gonna make the whole family.
If she is, the only one I could think of that she might be is a doll that's very, very old. The sculpt. I think it might be the Amelia. Maybe that's where I thought of that name from. Wasn't there a sculpt? I forgot who made it. Maybe Joanna Kay? Or I think it was called Amelia. It had a very similar look, but it's a long sold out kit. That could be, I'm not sure, either that or it's their own sculpt or face, however you say it for a silicone. The hands, I want to say, look very familiar, and I believe that the hands are like I've never had one of these dolls in person, but from what is this from? A Bonnie Brown kit, twin A or B. I think that's where these hands are from. Can somebody tell me? Because I'm pretty sure that this is a unique hand, like, to that sculpt. You know, where it's all together like that, but yet it's open. I'm pretty sure that's a Bonnie Brown sculpted hands. Or it could be Levi. Because now that I'm looking at this hand, I think Levi has the fist that goes inward a little bit. Levi. I'm trying to think if his other hand is like this, though. I never had that one either. So I don't know. Like, that was another one that was, I feel, Levi was a very popular, kit. I think it is still pretty much, a kit that a lot of people gravitate towards. I don't know. I never really got into that kit neither. I feel like that kit has the face on that, I feel is like just it doesn't have, for me, my opinion only, it doesn't have like a uniqueness to that. Like I know it has the cute like sucky lip face, you know, kind of like Clark, which I'm going to bring Clark on now. But, you know, I know it has that feature that a lot of people like about that sculpt. I don't know. I don't know. That's one of those sculpts that I just never got into. So I'm just going to bring Clark on, and then we're going to kind of say goodbye. Well, we're just going to say for today only. Well, till Monday, really, because tomorrow, it's the weekend now, and I don't really do anything on the weekend, unless by some luck, my doll comes tomorrow, which I don't think so. I mean, she said she shipped her day before yesterday evening, so Oh no, I dropped the powder. I was just trying to give her a little more powder before I dress her. But, yeah, let me dress her. Hold on one second, guys. Okay, guys, I'm just going to dress the baby in this cute Minnie Mouse outfit. I've had this for quite some time, and I've been waiting to have a doll that it would fit on. Because remember, I bought this to fit on my birthday baby. I thought it was going to fit on, but then it was too big, and then I wound up returning her anyway. So, this baby, I think, is going to be perfect for this. Now, this is a preemie, and I think she will fit in a preemie. I'm hoping maybe with this diaper. Oh no, I think it'll work. Oh, it does work. So Christina, now we could twin. Oh, it has to be rolled up a little bit maybe. So now we could twin our babies. Okay. Some noise outside. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, so see, there's the preemie pants on her. Oh, they fit perfect. That's so cute. Okay, so let's put the top. The hat, I think, is probably going to be too big for her, but that's okay. I think this is really cute. We could always put a headband. And then I'm just going to quickly show you her dressed and then bring Clark on and I'm going to have to do a separate video to do like a comparison I want to do. Just the different features of both brands, of the Babe side and the Volance, next to each other. Just so you guys can, see which one works better for you, if you're thinking about getting a silicone doll. Because what works for one person may not work for the next, and you want to make sure you get the right features and details in the doll. So I could tell you that this top is a little big around the shoulder. All right. So, yeah, the kids are playing, so we're going to have to wrap it up anyway. And I got to... Oh, it's the weekend. Why do I keep thinking they have school tomorrow? But still. Okay. Yeah, I would say so. It's just... Unless we want the baby to have a little off-the-shoulder look, darling. I don't think that's a proper look for a baby, but... we can, Danny, we are on, yeah, that's too big. The top's too big. I mean, it could work for now, but I wonder where the pants fit, but the top doesn't. I actually have this, onesie that I'll probably put on her. I think that might fit her a little better, but it's okay. It's okay for now. So I do like the fact that she has the eyebrows. That is definitely a plus. I think the hat could work too. It's going to be big. I really want to get a pacifier for her. Oh, but this is cute. No, mommy's almost done. Oh, well, just wait, honey. I'm almost done, okay? I'm almost done. Come look at the new baby and give her a name. Oh, look, Danny. Hi, everybody, look. Do you want to hold the new baby? I think she looks very much like a newborn. So let me get this baby here. So just very quickly, and then we're going to go. Very quickly, I just want to show you next side by side. These are both 16-inch dolls. Okay? So this is Babe side. This is Volance. You could see how much of a difference there is. His head's a little bigger than hers. He's a little longer. The hands, I feel like her hand is way bigger. Way bigger. The coloring is different as well. She is sealed, I believe. Otherwise, her eyebrows would have came right off, and you could see her lips are sealed. So she is sealed. He is not. You can see the difference. She has eyebrows. He does not. What else? Besides the obvious that he's awake and she's asleep, but that's not a real difference. That's just a preference. So I would definitely say her hands are way bigger than his. His head is bigger than hers. He has longer legs. They're both supposed to be 16 inches. She's sealed. He's not. She has eyebrows. He doesn't. And as far as the weighting goes, he's heavier by far, but she still has a lot of weight to her for the size. What I did notice right away is she is a lot firmer. Her silicone is firmer than his. He's very, very squishy. She is too, but it's just a different feeling. Okay. Right now he's very sticky. Now next to her, she has awesome coloring and he looks very chalky. I don't know if chalky is the word. Very like clay-like he looks. So that's another, wow, seeing them together like that, that's crazy. She obviously looks like she has more life in her as far as coloring goes. And that won't come off because she's sealed. So that's nice, you know, that even though you give her a bath, she's going to stay that way. So he's definitely more squishy than she is. I feel like she has a lot of detail in like the little lines in her feet. I don't know if they don't have as many. And I also noticed a big, huge difference right away. There's two main things. One is she has the line mark down her back, whereas they have them on the side. So they are pieced together differently. So they go this way front to back with the line down the middle here, and that goes all the way down the body. And she has the line that goes from the back all the way down her back this way. And then the weighting. So I showed you this before. While her head does have weight to it, and a little bounce there, you could see that it doesn't fall all the way back. I'm holding her back and she's holding her head up on her own. Whereas Clark over here, you know, you hold him like that and whoop, right away he's looking at you upside down. So he has a lot more. You could see the flexibility in that alone and the softness of the silicone going this way, like to the back. So here, I'll just for quick reference here, I'll show you. So holding them at the same way, you could see he's all the way back and she's staying forward, and I'm holding them at the same spot on their back. So he definitely has a lot more flexibility and softness to the silicone. But those are just some of the differences with these two companies, and I will definitely be doing a more detailed video of both of them like together, and I'll bring on the other silicones as well on another day. I did have little Johnny here, but we're not even gonna do that right now. And I would say by far, now looking at them together, see, this is what I'm saying, like it's nice to experience different things, because at first I wasn't too sure when I first took her out of the box, but I'm so used to her right now, and I really think she has a lot of life to her, especially with the coloring and the eyebrows. I would definitely want to look into getting her a preemie pacifier. Christina, tell me if you've tried any yet on this particular doll, and let me know what works for her mouth. And yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed my video. I'm just going to quickly, before I sign off here, I'm going to quickly bring on my two 18-inch dolls just to show you the outfits, because I switched them. I put Elsa in her outfit and did her hair. And I don't believe I showed you guys that. Well, I put the original outfit that the other doll came in, the blonde. I put that on the redhead. So she now is wearing the peach colored dress. And I was going to put her in her pajamas, but I wanted them both to have party dresses on for now. So I put her in this, and I thought her hair went really nice with the color of this dress. And I gave her Elsa's shoes, because under Elsa's dress you can't see the shoes. So that is, and I also changed her name from Scarlet to Queenie, So now her name is Queenie. And the other one, let me put her down. And then here is Elsa. And of course, her name is Elsa. That's the name we're leaving for her. And I gave her the red Dorothy shoes with this outfit because you can't see anyway. And I gave her the purse that came with her originally. So here is Elsa. And I mean, she really looks like Elsa. I mean, this is a great alternative for, I know they made an Elsa American Girl doll for a lot more money than it would be to get this doll and then get the outfit for her. And it looks very similar, very, very similar. Even the hairstyle, you know, I had to do this hairstyle myself, but it was pretty easy, you know, because her hair already had that. It was already gone to that way because she had her hair up high in a bun. So yeah, I think this really works for her. So this is Elsa. Even her eyes match the gown. So really, really pretty. And you could get this total look for the doll was around 21. And then the outfit, Suzanne got, but I think it was on sale, right? Suzanne for around 15, give or take. So, for under $40 for the completed Elsa doll is still less than half of what you would pay at American Girl. Way less than half. So if anybody's interested in that for your little girl or for yourself, that's a great alternative option there as well. So guys, that is it for today. Oh, be careful, Elsa. Wish I could keep talking, but kids are home and it's time for dinner and we're going to watch something on TV, I'm sure. I'm going to watch out for Christina's video because she said she may make one tonight. So we'll watch for that. I'm going to see if anybody else posted any videos, but other than that, yeah, guys, thank you again for everybody that was watching. Thank you. Special thanks to Christina, Kevin, Amanda, Tina, Sherry, Alicia, everybody that wrote to me and was hope I didn't forget anybody there that was, you know, concerned about what was going on with me and everything. And I appreciate everybody's thoughts and prayers and hoping that everything was okay. And I'm happy that I went. And so I will keep you guys updated with that as well. And so, yeah. Thank you so much. If you haven't watched her box opening yet, you might want to check that out. That was posted earlier today. And yeah, so stay tuned for the collab coming up on the 8th. And my baby, way before that, on Wednesday, hopefully, I'll be opening her. And just fun things coming up, fun things. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. And I will see you guys all on Monday for Monday Chat. So enjoy your weekend, everybody, and I'll see you next time on Little Meatballs Nursery. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.